Is your radiator cold at the top and warm at the bottom? If so, it's likely that you've got trapped air in the radiator. Luckily, this is something that you should be able to sort out yourself by bleeding the radiator. Bleeding the radiator is quite a simple, straightforward and safe process, and it just involves opening a small valve on the radiator to release the trapped air. So if you follow the following instructions, you should be able to sort it. First thing we need to do is get all the equipment together. You don't need a lot. You're basically going to need either a flat-headed screwdriver or a bleed key. That's also known as a radiator key or valve key, and you can pick these up from DIY shops. You'll need a dry cloth and you'll need a small mug or a bowl. Next thing to do is we need to turn the central heating off, so make sure you do this at the main controls. Okay? And then we need to identify the location of the bleed valve. On most radiators, the bleed valve is at the top corner of one of the sides of the radiator. In this case, that's your bleed valve, and it's normally identifiable by a square bit in the middle of the round plug. Right, now we're going to look at actually bleeding the radiator. So first job I'm going to do is to put some protection over my hand. So I'm going to wrap this cloth around my hand because the water that comes out of the radiator might be hot. And I'm going to get the mug and I'm going to put that underneath the bleed valve. So I'm just going to explain exactly what I'm going to do from here. So I'm going to put the bleed key into the bleed valve, okay, and then I'm going to turn the bleed key very, very slowly anti-clockwise until I hear the hissing sound of the air escaping. And normally you would need about a quarter to a half a turn, certainly not more than 2 turns, because there's a screw in there that could end up coming out. Once I hear that hissing sound has stopped, and I'll then see water escaping from the bleed valve, I'll then know that all the air's been purged from the radiator. So I'm going to then retighten the bleed valve by turning the bleed key clockwise back to its original position. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. Right, okay, you can hear that hissing sound has stopped, and now the water's actually coming from the bleed valve, so we know all the air's been purged out. So I'm going to turn that bleed key clockwise back to its original position, and I'm going to use this cloth just to clean up any spills. There you go. Right, now we've bled the radiator, we just need to turn the central heating back on again at the main controls. And now it's time for a bit of a break, so I'm going to hit this magazine. I'm going to have a couple of hours, bit of reading, and then when I've done that, okay, I need to go back to the radiator just to make sure that everything's okay. So what you need to do is check that the radiator is heating up uniformly by feeling it. You then need to get the cloth and just make sure that there are no leaks coming from the bleed valve anymore. And that's your job done.